Forgot to put the camera in my face. Forgot to put the microphone and camera in my face. Woo! Turn this fan off. Man, I can't believe this man wearing this in 90-degree heat.
What are you talking about? Oh,
Ain't
I
that
thought you was talking about. This. Well, you know what? I don't want to choose sides right now. But no, we good. You know, we in that A/C.
Let me move you over
Do you
here as
know what
well.
that means?
Yeah, I had your camera on this computer, so I'm over here. Yeah, Devin. And I'm like, well,
I ain't gonna lie.
I'm like,
Before we went on air, like you was talking to me, and you was like this. What are you talking about? I'm like, who was he talking to? So I'm thinking like,
Little Bill, who are you talking to?
yeah, I'm like, dang, little Jimmy in there, man. Somebody
Look,
get
man,
our truth.
and it's hot right now. I got the AC blasting. If you hear the
Man,
AC
we
in the
burning
background,
up.
I could care less at this point.
I never get hot. You know, I'm from Miami.
From Miami, look at that, and he bought that after the championship. That's the crazy part.
What? Which one? The first one?
I was gonna go the LeBron one. I was gonna go the second one.
I ain't gonna lie. No, I got this his last year when he retired.
Oh, you one of them? Well, you know what? I ain't gonna.
I was one of them. I ain't gonna lie, because I had a Shaquille O'Neal one. Well, I had one. I don't know where he at. Last time I seen it, you know how they was white, you know, with the red numbering.
Yeah.
Like that thing so old, it's white, and you know how they came out with them like pink hot Vice jerseys. That's how my Shaquille O'Neal jersey looked originally. Like that's how it faded. It faded into that. So when they brought them jerseys out, I'm like, they brought my jersey in style. However, find it. I don't know where it's sprayed in some landfill somewhere. But yeah, it was the first pink whatever Miami Vice uniform they had. I was a pioneer.
I was a pioneer. You said I started this. We need royalties here.
You know why y'all got y'all eyes open? I got mine closed, man.
Sleep, knocked out,
you know,
absolutely knocked out.
But we still wide awake. Still wide awake, you know. So, you know, no games will be played. My fault. I screwed it. Yeah, give me a moment.
Well, a huge shout out to somebody that was on the show previously. I don't know if they want me to expose them on this or not. I mean, I don't think it matters. But they actually told me, hey, look, I mean, one thing I do is I buy people's jerseys when they get traded or, you know, when they get released or when they retire because it's half off. So it's like you're gonna get, you know, a D Wade Chicago Bulls jersey for like $15, you know, if you want it. And I would want it, honestly. You know, it's D Wade. You know, I don't care. He played for your team. You know, so I do it. I would definitely rock a D Wade jersey. I actually just seen a video of, okay, this is gonna sound awful. I was watching a video of myself. Yeah, I was. I do that, and it's for a specific reason. I gotta collect all of my old episodes of a show that I used to do, and one of the videos that I was doing was. I always look, man. I was going crazy. I was getting called a booger wolf. You know, I was over here getting
Batman, please.
Huge shout out to Jay Hendry. Says, "What's up, gentlemen? What's good, brother?" But the thing about that was, I actually just talked about. I bought a T-Mac jersey. I had a T-Mac jersey. Here's the comparison. Here's how we're gonna compare and contrast. There it goes. I can speak properly. When I went to work, my boss, who's about mid-40s or about to touch the 50s, he's like, "You wearing a T-Mac jersey?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's a Hall of Famer. Oh, there's no way. He's like, I'm like, there's no way that T-Mac is a Hall of Famer. 13 points in 8 seconds, T-Mac. I'm like, no, 8 points in 13 seconds, T-Mac. Like, this dude's a dog. Like, we're not talking, and I understand the man is riddled with injuries and yada yada yada. But outside of that,
still a dog. Didn't he score like 10 points in like 30 seconds?
Yeah, it's an absolute monster of a man.
Like,
and then
NBA 506 covered. Like, stop playing. All right, I'm sorry. That was 07. I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
07.
There we go.
No, you're not giving me up at all.
D-Wade was 06, though.
D-Wade was 06. See? And he was like, I brought this for this very reason. For that very reason. I was there. But even then, like, when you go over to Las Vegas, I felt like Devin Lee Crimes in Arizona. Like, I wore a T-Mac jersey, and everywhere we went, is that a T-Mac jersey? T-Mac? You got it. And I bought it, like, that was like $10 at Ross. A T-Mac jersey, like an authentic T-Mac jersey was $10 at Ross. And I literally could have brought somebody home at Vegas with that T-Mac jersey. Like, it was absolutely doggerific. And then you see Devin come through with this WrestleMania shirt. We went
Everybody loved it.
Denny's. Everybody and their mama wanted to be with Devin Lee Grimes. I feel like they would have took a picture with Devin Lee Grimes. I was sick and utterly disgusted. Sick and utterly disgusted. And honestly, just going through that whole thing made me realize that even going to Vegas, seeing that people was in love with the T-Mac jersey, I was like, okay, at least we know there's a bit of a stark difference here. You know. I'm sorry, I was distracted by the glasses. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I was trying to like balance them out like live on air, and I'm like, I look so goofy, man. Like I look like I got punched in the face. You know, would you ever hit a guy with glasses? You know, Jack Nicholson, Batman 1989.
He gonna move his glasses all around. Oh, you know,
because I can't get. I just didn't want to be up here all crooked, like Well, I really think that CM Punk gonna beat John. I just didn't, didn't want to. Here we go. It'll fix itself. It's better than what I was doing with it.
It's tough having to wear glasses, It's really
you and my niece. I told you, when y'all sleeping at night and you wake up wondering why I swapped one of y'all eyes, you'll know. Because I just think it's trying to make this face,
like this just really hurts. I can't see anything.
You know what I'm saying? No, it's too late. I just don't see. And I'm glad it's a space for me to rant just real quick. I don't understand why I gotta pay money out of my pocket, money that I worked hard for. They ain't just give it to me, but I gotta pay money out of my hard-earned money. I said money twice. That's how angry I am. To see, like, who asked for that? Why? What kind of sick person are you to be like, oh, you want to see? Man, that's a good $75 right there. But first, I gotta tell you can't see first. Like, I can tell you I can't see. I can't see. I don't get why I gotta come to you every year just to tell you the same thing I told you last year. I can't see.
I can't see. Honestly.
Sorry, I'm done. my whole life, everybody John Cena in my life. I can't see him.
Everybody John Cena in my life. We got Justin in here. What's good, fellas?
Justin and like, what's good?
Before I do this intro, I just got one last thing to say, because it's funny that you said about glasses, because now seeing that glasses are like some of them being $200, $300, I'm like, man, that's ridiculous. Like, and the crazy part was, like, when my brother was little, he was like, first off, just irresponsible as kids are, but like, as soon as we would walk out the eye doctor store, she'd be like, all right, you got your glasses, just go upstairs and do whatever you want to do. Go upstairs. Break, just snap. He like, Mom, I need new glasses. Like, I just bought you 2 pairs. He bought them 2 pairs, snap. Right. Jordan was hilarious. She'd be like, I bought you 2 pairs of glasses. Like, how did you just break this first one? Like, where's your spare? I broke it. Like, I broke it in the parking lot. Like, how do you break it in the parking lot? Like,
hey, you had to test it out. That's how you already knew they wasn't gonna last.
My brother was walking the top rope, man, breaking glasses. I'm sorry, it was bad. We got Devin the Tribal Chief. Yo, what's good?
I acknowledge you.
I acknowledge you, brother.
Devin the Tribal Chief.
Devin, what? That's that we never really discussed that either. What was your nickname? What is? Because I remember you addressing the fans, saying that you were Devin. But what is your actual moniker? What is the nickname?
My actual moniker now, after I've gone through my huge transformation, I was kidding. After a year of rebuilding myself from the ground up, I want to be called like Devin the Destroyer or something like that, like Devin the Conqueror. Because like back then I was like, I'm just this character development. At first I was like, oh, I'm just Devin, I'm just me. There's nothing. But now I actually do. Call me Muscle Bound Devin. Call me I'm trying to think of. I'm telling people to call me like 5 different names. I'm gonna work on it. But know that it is gonna be more than just I'm just Devin, because it's more than that now. It's more than that.
I don't know. I was like, because Devin the Destroyer sounded a little, like, it sounded a little.
All right, you know what? See,
hello, all, and welcome.
That was the perfect way to open it. That was
yeah, right. That's the perfect way to open it. Hello, all, and welcome to the Heel Turn Podcast. I'm your host, Isaiah Jackson Jr. Devin Lee Grimes alongside me. Devin, how's you doing today, my brother?
aside from that drum roll, I'm doing pretty good. You know, it's Thursday. My glasses are a little crooked, but who cares? So I'm pretty good.
You're pretty
Got the
good.
D-Wade on. I couldn't find a shirt to wear, so I had to improvise.
You got the hip. Well, it looks like you're looking pretty comfortable, as you should, as you always are. You know, Beverly Crimes never looks uncomfortable in his seat, in his undisclosed location. You know, as we like to call it. Look at that, even Jay. Look at this. Justin, wrong platform for Devin the Destroyer. That's what I'm saying, man. He just right out of the gate. Oh, Devin the Destroyer immediately. Yeah, that's right.
I mean, you know, I could be like somebody that's destroying the competition. I mean, you know, it just
not according to Jay Hendry. Devin is out here destroying this chicks, man. I'm like, man, Devin the Destroyer.
Look, I was just trying to use a name to kind of, you know, refer to like the there's no way out of this. To be honest,
there's no way out of this.
Myself, you know, I'm just gonna be standing in there like, hey, what you doing? I'm standing in the hole. I dug myself.
Is that an Anton Walker Heat jersey?
no, it's D-Wade. See, you know what? See, I feel like if I don't show the D-Wade, ain't nobody gonna believe it. You know,
right? I'm like Jay Hendry. Devin is a man of the people. Baby. That is actually a Udonis Haslam jersey. I'm like, look, he actually cares for the people.
I wish, man.
He actually cares
for the Heat my whole life.
Man, I
grew up watching that man on the Heat, man. I grew up when he cut his braids. I was hurt. You know, like certain players when they cut their braids, I was like, "What are you doing?" Like Carmelo,
you ain't the same no more. R-Truth,
yeah.
But that's the dreads, though, not the braids. Two different things. Like I have to clarify.
Hey, you doing something? What's that? You losing some type of strength when you do that.
You lose, yeah.
We stay strong though. We don't.
I don't know. I got an appointment on Saturday, I believe. Look, shouts to D Wade, and a huge shout out to Game Breakers as well. I was just seeing them. I was actually just watching them before we went on air. Was actually talking about Tyrese Halliburton. Just to pop in, make fun of Tyrese Halliburton. Also, hope he gets well soon. Look, I'm a jerk, but I ain't I'm a jerk, but I ain't an asshole. Let me put it like that. I'm a jerk, but I ain't gonna go the extra mile. Even though I'm happy the Indiana Pacers lost, that was a hell of a finals, man. Very, very entertaining, and I'm happy. I'm happy that that we saw what we saw. But one thing that I am happy about, for sure, that I think we all are happy about, Hall of Famer Jim Ross announces he is cancer-free and announcing his return to AEW All In. Longtime announcer Jim Ross is aiming to return to the broadcast table for AEW's All In show on July 12th after doctors provided an encouraging update. You never know about tomorrow. The cancer's gone. I'm pretty sure he said it like that. No, I think he definitely said it like that. Which I'm very happy to say. Ross said on his Grillin' JR podcast. So I'm blessed that my health has returned and I'm feeling pretty damn good. Devin, now even though we're happy that Jim Ross is cancer free, I'm happy to see Jim Ross, back on his feet, moving, happier than ever. Do you want to see him return to TV?
Not at all. I was kind of like, all in. I know I'm gonna fix it.
I'm sorry. I
can't help it because I know somebody gonna look at me like, is this glasses crooked? Is he just standing crooked? I don't know. My background crooked. Hey, what J. Cole say? It's a crooked smile, but we still worth the picture still or something. I digress. But Jim Ross returning at All In, it's great news in terms of his health, in terms of him being capable of coming back and returning to commentating, especially like on the stage of like what All In will be. Like I said, me personally, I don't know. I would have held off. Just at this point, like we said before, we kind of just want him to just chill out. He's a legend. He don't really need to prove it anymore. So that's just me. I'm glad he's capable of returning to the show, but me personally, Jim Ross, if you took it easy, I'd be happily fine with that.
Yeah, I think they should just take him the Jesse Ventura route. Hey, brother, we got this opening here.
What they gonna do to him?
Yeah, they're gonna treat that Jesse Ventura around. They're gonna snitch, like they're gonna pretty much snitch on them. Somebody gonna rat on them, brother. You know,
Oh, we
but it's one of the things where I just think where we love
ran on
JR.
Hogan.
Rat on Hogan, brother. You mean to tell me that if you are in the cage, I'm just gonna walk out of the door?
How are you gonna just do that?
How you gonna just do that? Walk out of the door. This loser. It's like, I can just imagine being at the house, just being at a house party. All right, I'll see y'all guys later. You mean to tell me, like,
You're gonna just leave out of the door like that?
Out of the door, really? You're not gonna climb to the top of the cage? He's like, what?
A real tough guy would have climbed out through the window.
Right, yeah, exactly. You don't dig? You mean to tell me you don't dig here? But honestly, I'm actually a huge fan of JR, which is why we need to see him on special occasions. Which also is going to lead me to another commentary segment that we'll get to in a little bit later. But a lot of people just need some time off. You know, there's a lot to say about travel. There's a lot to say about, you know, the time it takes to get to the arena, how you're feeling that day, you know, and then also performing the task at hand. And JR can, you know, JR can, but I think JR deserves a break. You know, JR deserves to be sitting at home on his podcast telling us he deserves to be Jim Cornette. You know, let's be honest here. Like, he deserves to be Jim Cornette in this instance. Yeah. Jim Cornette is literally at his castle, as he says, you know, is living his best life, just talking on the microphone. That's what we need to see JR do. We need to see JR do that, and if he wants to step out and do like the whole life, I like it. That's what I want to see. Justin says, congratulations to good old JR. Took cancer out of the woodshed and whooped it like a government mule.
I know. What a flower knocker.
Sorry. How do you learn to fall from an inanimate object? I was like, this is a lot of stuff that I just randomly just say a bunch of JR quotes as I'm walking. It's like
anytime like something like dramatic happen, I'm, my God. Good God Almighty.
My God. He may be dead. He may be dead.
No, that was I just love he make any moment epic, man. Imagine Jim Ross talking during the Civil War, the Civil War, the Captain America Civil War, not the actual Civil War. I was like, the Civil War? What? The 1860s? Like there you go. The Civil War? Yeah, I was like, that would be a kind of a wild request. I'm like, I want to hear Jim Ross, but I want to hear him commentate the Civil War back in, you know.
My God! Look at them muskets. He's like just going on, just looking at them, just watching them scoop by.
Hey, I'm telling you, he'll make it hype. You know, no disrespect.
He's just walking up to Abe Lincoln. Tell me why.
Tell me why, God. Lincoln.
Tell me why, Lincoln.
I thought I knew that man.
Nah, I honestly, I'm happy to see that JR is back on his feet, and as Justin graciously put it, is beating the brakes boop, 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 off of cancer and every other illness that is stepping in his way. My man is resilient as Cardi B elbow. Now that brings us to our other commentator. As we talked about one guy taking some time off, we got to talk about another man that could potentially be taking some time off as well. Of course, that is Pat McAfee. Announced his decision on his WWE career. Of course, originally appeared on The Spun. McAfee has been nowhere to be found on WWE's programming for nearly a month now, and the former Colts punter, has finally decided to address it on this Monday's show. Of course, he says Monday Night Raw is on tonight. I will not be commentating. Continuing to just kind of catch up on life as a whole. Post Money in the Bank, pre-Night of Champions feels like a good time. I was getting pretty exhausted there, so shout out to everyone at WWE for looking out for me. So very, very thankful. He also goes on to say, I was getting pretty exhausted. I produce/host a 5-day-a-week show. Have been on the go every week since Dublin last year before college football. Plus, I run my growing company with 14 employees, and I have a 2-year-old daughter. Okay, you don't got to flex. Jeez. Okay. You're not exhausted enough, bitch. Need you to take a dirt nap. Of course, talking about the IWC. Thank you all so much. Excited for the future of my life. And honestly, I think we can all agree, or at least unless you want to disagree, this was needed for Pat McAfee.
It was. My only issue is why couldn't he do this like a good 2 months ago? You know, after
What?
he had that. No, before you jump down my throat, pause. Hold on. He just have a match with Gunther at Backlash. What was that, Backlash?
You're
Or
right.
why couldn't he have done that then? Instead of that's just me.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're
I'm
right.
just saying, like, I'm like thinking about it, like, yeah, Joel ain't been on TV. Then I'm thinking, if you gonna take a break, why you ain't take a break after that? That would have put Gunther over. I mean, not that. Okay, I take that back. I wouldn't put him. He was already over. It would have helped the effect of like making Gunther like, hey, I'm not playing with y'all. You know, quit saying I tapped out. I do that to you. But no, like he had a whole fight with Pat McAfee, a commentator, in terms of Gunther, a former world heavyweight champion. And then Pat McAfee came out the very next night, like, hey, I mean, not the next night, but the next Monday, like, I was in a match with Gunther. No, you a commentator. You should be laying down somewhere on the couch. You should be taking that break now. Then you could have came out and been like, oh yeah, you know, that what you just said just now. You know, I was getting kind of exhausted, but yeah, look, I'm glad. I mean, you know, he took the time, and if he felt that way, I just don't see why if you really wanted to, work it, you could have did this right after your match with Gunther. What did you miss between that?
I can't disagree with that. I can't disagree with that at all. Honestly, like that was a point in time where
Corey is way better. I'm sorry.
You can control the chat too. Hold on. I was like, you can control. You can press anything you want. Honestly.
Look at that. No disrespect, but Pat is corny to me too. Jay Hendry, I'm telling you. I'm just saying. Look, where it's at. I don't even have one like just nearby. But this is all this man do, man. I got a screwdriver because I work hard. Let me tell you something, Cole. We gotta be SOB. Whatever. And he catches the pin or something. Man, get out of here. It's just. And you say Corey is way better. I agree. When I see Corey on Raw, I bet you see what are you gonna take off for 2 months? No, I'm just
yeah, I'm out of here. I see you guys later. You can take over, brother. Oh, I pressed the wrong button.
Look, he put the wrong person.
I'm already taking time off.
But my thing is, it's just I don't know when we condemn, well, not we, I don't condemn him at all. But when people condemn Booker T for his commentary, I can use it up here and accept Pat McAfee's. How? I mean, it's kind of the same. At least I can go. Booker T was a 2-time Hall of Famer, a 6-time world heavyweight champion. Like, come on, that's just me. So me personally, look, I'm glad he on a break, but I ain't gonna really miss it. So should have did after he when it gets Gunther. I'm gonna put that in there too.
See, and I agree with everything you said about Pat McAfee. Like, look, if you're gonna be out, you gotta make it worth it. Like if this is a point in time where we're building Gunther to be strong. Gunther is supposed to, like, if he would have took out Pat McAfee and then beat Jey Uso for the title. Now you got Michael Cole. He has to commentate on Gunther's title reign and on most of his matches. And then Pat McAfee has to come back, of course, at some point. Yeah, Gunther's beat my ass before Michael Cole, but let me tell you something. I can't disrespect the man, and I have to call this fair. He has no choice but to call this fairly. You're a commentator. Speak about how good he is after he sent you to the sideline. It's close. We're getting there. One of us gonna get it.
That was terrible. Don't give me hope. Don't give me hope.
Don't give me hope.
I was like, that was terrible. I ain't never
do it. Screwdriver you did was awful. He just threw it behind.
Yeah, I was like, it was a little venom behind that one. I ain't gonna
the screwdriver was nuts. He tried to kill somebody. He thought somebody was behind him.
Screw you.
Never thought he saw a ninja behind him. That was my Pat McAfee impression. But I actually just killed somebody.
Maybe saw like what's his name? Dang, was it John Wick?
Got me John Wick, I'm telling you. That was John Wick. He was with his screw. I'm telling you, Devin just be having random stuff. Tommy Pickles. That's what Devin just had it just on his person, man. Jay Hendry says AEW should let JR announce remotely, and I agree with that. But here's how I think we can spice this up. And like, well, at least for when I did, for a little bit of background, um, when I had to try out or do something like say for sports broadcasting, one thing they would do is, well, I had to do it with somebody that was a veteran. I didn't do it with somebody that was an intro guy like I was. I was just getting into it, but they put me in with somebody that had some experience there, and we would call the games, and then I would call a couple games with that person to see if I was ready or not, and then they would put you on air. If you do something like that with Jim Ross, like say collision tapings, if you could bring back a certain show that nobody watches, a Rampage, you have a YouTube show again, you can have somebody. Jim Ross already has a studio. Bring that film over to Jim Ross crib. You guys commentate on those things. Not only will you have content with Jim Ross calling matches, you're also giving somebody some help. If Daddy Mac Daddy wants to announce some matches, send them to Jim Ross's house. I'm sorry, Jim Ross, I'm opening up your house, but it's just like, hey, you got a studio, you can build on this. That's just how I see it. I feel like you can do something nice with this and Jim Ross gets to stay at home and he gets to work and he gets paid, at the comfort of his own home, and he gets to do a podcast. So honestly, granted that's wishful thinking, but I just think that's just the way you can help improve.
No, I agree. Like you said, like he should be Jim Cornette in a way. Like he can look. If they was like, hey, Jim Ross, giving his thoughts on what he thought of that Jon Moxley Samoa Joe match, match, MATCH
match.
I would listen. I just had to spell it out for myself because it didn't sound like I was saying it. But I mean, look, that's what I'm saying. Like in terms of Jim Ross, like I don't need him to actually travel, and do all that stuff. I just rather just hear him. He could just upload a little video of his thoughts, and I'm like, cool. Like you gotta think Jim Ross go back to what NWA, and I ain't talking about Ice Cube and them, but WCW. I could be wrong, but I'm just saying his history spans like decades and generations and eras, and you got to think he was a person that was picking out talent back, in the Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era. So like he has the eye, has the knowledge, has the experience. So that's all I kind of would want from him now.
Honestly, yeah. And AEW is doing a whole lot for you. Gotta be honest. Like AEW is doing a whole lot for that man. And not saying like they shouldn't, because they definitely should. He's employed underneath them.
But they doing a lot for you.
They're
you don't deserve that. Like dang.
Yeah, I was like, I think, and look at that, Jay Hendry. And Beth did that for a minute in NXT. Renee Paquette, or what was her name? Renee Young. She did that in WWE as well until they found out she was awful. She was awful. Let's be honest. Like, and granted, and I'm not the best guy. I'm not a good spoiler. Like I can be honest with you guys. Like I don't think I'm the greatest. Like damn it, Renee Young. It wasn't the greatest. It was rough. But still, at the end of it all, that's how you learn. That's how you grow. And she's an amazing sideline reporter. Just a great reporter in general. She's a great personality. So you gotta give credit where credit is due. Well, another person who is also sitting at home is Dirty Dom, who is reportedly has an illegit injury as the WWE IC title match versus AJ Styles was pulled. Of course, WWE IC champion, Dominic Mysterio was scheduled for a marquee title defense against AJ Styles, which I think he was supposed to win at Night of Champions. Okay, first off, let's get these bums off of the screen. What is this?
Get these bums out of here, man. Get these back alley. I'm just kidding. Let me stop.
That's exactly what they are. Back alley. They are just complete trash. Complete trash.
Sounds like the Bears offensive line, man. Just a line of trash cans.
Yeah, and we're getting better, and it's only getting better. Unlike them dastardly Cubs, man. Let me tell you something about them. I ain't gonna say anything. According to PWI Insider, there's actually a legitimate reason. Of course, he's dealing with a ribcage issue. Monday Night Raw general manager Adam Pearce informed Styles of Mysterio's injury during a backstage segment this week. We're not going to watch that because we're going to get pulled. Of course, while an official timeline for Mysterio's recovery wasn't revealed, it's reported that the issue isn't expected to keep him sidelined for too long, unlike his storyline significant other. Styles is expected to be the first one in line for a shot at the IC title when he's available to return to action. Man, the injury bug is alive and well in WWE, but it's not a huge issue considering, he's not out for too long. But man, this definitely is putting a damper on a lot of things right now, isn't it?
It is because in terms of Dirty Dumb or just injury bugs and dirty WWE, just
all of it, as well.
Yeah, because I mean, it's just when you say it, I'm like, because I saw like a list. I feel bad because it was a long list. So I didn't get it. I saw Tonga Loa was on there, and when he coming back, it's been since Survivor Series. Bronson Reed then came back. I ain't trying to undersell his injury. Like, you should be as hurt as him. But my point I'm trying to make, like we see like recently, like Liv Morgan, like how she was involved like 3 storylines and like just they on Hulk, or at least some of them are. I don't see them holding up.
I think they're done now.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't see them, like, hey, we're gonna hold up like Nikki Bella versus Liv Morgan to like Elimination Chamber next year. But hey, watch. Since we on the topic though, real quick, before I forget, I want to put it out there so it's on footage, it's on film, it's on a cloud somewhere. Liv Morgan gonna make her return at the Royal Rumble in 2026, and she gonna win. And that's all I got to say. I'm already shooting for the stars, like I always do. So yeah, you heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks, as they say. I just want to be that.
Why would Liv Morgan win over Stephanie McCare?
Oh, but she need to win next year. She could win the elimination check. See, there you go.
I can Liv Morgan can win the elimination check.
You know how many opportunities that you really realize they put in front of people? Like, people get their chances. If Stephanie McCare can't win Royal Rumble, she can win the Elimination Chamber. If she can't win the Elimination Chamber, she can win Queen of the Ring. If she don't want. She can be Miss Money in the Bank if you want. Like, I'm just saying all these opportunities. Like, I'm just saying Liv could win money Royal Rumble. She ain't did that yet. See, that's probably her calling right now, saying why she deserved to win the Royal Rumble. And you need to watch your mouth, because you see what happened when Nikki Bella came on there with the disrespect. She talked to us so bad. We ain't seen Nikki Bella since. She was scared when Liv Morgan came out there. Okay, I was trying to filibuster for this phone. I think that should be the last ring.
That should be the last ring.
Yes, sir.
That should be and I'm done. In conclusion. Honestly, look, Liv Morgan had an amazing 2 years? I mean, like the past 2 years she's just been absolutely on fire. And you got to give her a whole lot of love and credit for that. She, even with Rhea Ripley being so much, what was the turn? What was the deciding factor, Devin? Can you point to me? Because I could point to you, but can you point to me the exact moment when Liv Morgan officially became that woman?
The exact moment?
Yes.
When Becky Lynch had to cheat to beat her, because I knew then. I knew if somebody as highly statured as a Becky Lynch got to cheat to beat just an old little Morgan, I knew we was on up. I'm just kidding, but that was one of the I mean, there's so many. How many you want me to pick just one moment? Because
like in terms of the recent 2 years, like
I got you. Dang, it took a minute, because she was hurt, then she came back. I'm trying to see what been what around when she beat Becky Lynch. Hey, how did it actually kind of feel like it came out of nowhere? Because when did you start even messing with Dirty Dom?
That's the thing. That's where I pinpoint the exact moment Liv Morgan took off. That promo where she's like, Dominic doesn't like girls that look like you, Rhea. Dominic want girls that look like this, look like me. Broke the freaking internet, took the world by storm, and then after that, she followed it up with some fire wrestling. And she's followed that up with some fire wrestling on top of not only the wrestling, but not only the promos, but the manipulation, the deception. It's just like everything about it. Like, I felt like from that exact moment, because Devin, please tell me, let's be honest. When she did that, when that promo came out, tell me you couldn't avoid that for the past week till the next week of Raw. It was everywhere. Twitter, Instagram. Everybody posted about it.
Well, I mean, look, I had already felt like, Liv Morgan as a heel would work. And I didn't think it was gonna work that way where you flip it where she then flipped herself into the Judgment Day and flipped Rhea Ripley out. But it worked perfect. And I ain't trying to say like Liv injured, how can I put it? Because I don't know how the injury really went. You know when Rhea got shoved into the wall and she ended up
When Rhea injured her shoulder,
it, like as unfortunate as that was, we also gotta kind of look at that little moment of the opportunity that she snatched and just went along with it. Cause that's when she would go on to beat Becky for it. After Becky had to cheat to beat her a couple years ago, and she took off with the Women's World Champion from there, taking over the Judgment Day from Rhea Ripley. Saying what she was gonna do. She said she was gonna take everything from Rhea Ripley, and that's what she kind of did. And now Roxanne trying to do the same thing to her. It's kind of crazy how that works.
That's the thing. Roxanne is going to do that. This is going the exact same way. Rhea got injured, Liv slips in. Liv gets injured, Roxanne's living in.
I mean, her job ain't done yet.
This is playing out perfectly. Liv Morgan gonna be the one hating on Dirty Dom. Not Dirty. Look, man, Dirty Dom can kiss my ass, man. Let me tell you something. He's been put in a position where a lot of guys wouldn't be able to be put in. And all he has to do is just grow a mustache and be the son of Rey Mysterio to be put in this position. I hate him. I hate him forever. I hate him for life.
For life.
For life.
Hate him for life. Dang, I mean, look, I ain't on that boat. Shout out to Dirty Dom, man. I mean, hey, sometimes you just be in situations and you just be in situations. But I will say he in a much better situation than he was pre-Clash at the Castle 2022. I try not to even remember that man. Like if he ever shaved that mustache, like I don't know. Pause. I ain't trying to be all on his appearance.
I forgot what was it. I think it was 2K23 when he comes out in just this colorful gear, out there hugging, jumping on his father's arms. I'm like, bro, what is this? Come on now. How come you're not like putting your father in a chokehold right now? Calling him a deadbeat. What's happening?
That Dirty Dom documentary gonna be heat when we old.
That Dirty Dom documentary is gonna be fire, man. I can't wait. I absolutely can't wait. One thing that I'm pissed off about, Devin. Another thing that I'm pissed off about now that we're getting into these reviews. Now, obviously, we're not going to go into a deep dive of the reviews because we're already 34 minutes in. But Monday Night Raw pissed me off. Was there something on Monday Night Raw that bothered you, that grinded your gears before I go off on the deep end?
Not really. I wasn't that upset. Now I'm really intrigued as to what got you.
Well, aren't you a Jey Uso fan?
Yeah,
I am. You were happy.
Well, okay. Let's dive right into that. That's great. How Jey Uso lost, in a hard-fought battle against Cody Rhodes, a former WWE champion, the American Nightmare, the man who beat the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40 and finished his story. The one that John Cena had to low blow this man, hit him in the head with a championship and call out Travis Scott to beat him. We're talking about him. Like, yeah, I can see Jey Uso losing to him. But I mean, look, if we was gonna really look at the finals, I put it this way, and I kind of like how it was set up for like two stories. I could have got my Jey Uso Sami Zayn match if Sami Zayn was able to beat Randy Orton on SmackDown, but he couldn't do that. So it was going to either be Jey Uso versus Randy or Cody. So it's more of a story of Cody and Randy. Unfortunately, I mean, not unfortunately, but in terms of Jey Uso being in that match, the only way I would have had Jey Uso in that match and had some type of story is if him and Sami Zayn did it. But I can see them going, I don't know. See, I hate to call a former world champion not being in the finals a not safer route. Because I just feel like you going with Cody and Randy, like it's just there. It's like you could do you could do something with that. No matter what. Rather you have, I don't see Randy winning it, obviously. But at the same time, is Cody gonna win it and go challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship? Like,
right, exactly. We don't know what's happening. We don't know what's happening. Which is a good thing. Obviously, we shouldn't know what's happening. But it's getting really, really bothersome that now Jey Uso, granted he walked in the match gauged up on the ribs, but brother, you beat Gunther. You beat Gunther. You go over. You take the L, and then now you have to fight in this King of the Ring. You already had a phenomenal win against Gunther, even though I don't like it. It was a phenomenal win. How are we building up on Jey Uso? What are we gonna do here? Because now he's still leading in merch sales, but is there a ceiling to this man? Because now you're getting beat to a pulp now. You know, granted, you're keeping it competitive, but you're losing heavily. It looks like there's a ceiling to Jey Uso. Question: did Jay's daddy go off about his loss on Monday? I don't know. I didn't hear. But let me tell you something. That man, I love me some Rikishi, but dang,
Rikishi, man.
I don't know, Rikishi. I'm sorry, you be talking about Jey Uso like you.
And he said, "How dare you prop your own son up? How dare you talk about your own son in high regards? Be honest with your son and tell him that he trash, so he won't be in the world being trash."
Well, I'll be thinking like he be going off. He be like, he be doing all this. He's amazing. He does this, and he's just so great at what he does. And I'm like, oh, okay, he talking about Roman. I'll be like, he does all this talking about Jey Uso. I'll be like,
Big Jim.
Yeah, I'll be like, before he says Jay's name, I'll be like, oh, okay, he must be talking about Roman, because ain't no way he talking about Jey Uso. His description ain't matching the picture that I'm looking at right now. That Pokemon picture that's all black. I'm seeing Roman Reigns. Jey Uso shouldn't be popping up on my screen right now. I'm sorry.
They made this the wrong card.
Pokemon fans out there.
Well, look with Jey Uso. Me personally, I wouldn't have put him in this tournament whatsoever. I would have wrote him off for a hot, bit, because what you gonna do besides lose? It's only two things you can do: win or lose. So once you already lost a big monumental loss like that for yourself, no, I shouldn't be seeing you. Granted, that's nice you won that match, that 4-way to get into the final. Like, it's cool, but no, if you was not, the plan was not here for him to advance, win the King of the Ring, and get another rematch, I guess. No, I would have not put him in this tournament. Granted, it's nice to see him be able to advance into the finals, because you could say like, oh, he made it to the finals last year. Maybe we could use that argument next year if he's in it. But I don't know. Still, in terms of momentum, he's all over the place, and I don't really trust his momentum, because granted, he lost to Gunther and then won the Royal Rumble, so you never know with Jey Uso. I don't know. He may lose, can't do a dive one night, and may win the world championship next week.
Yeah, that's the problem. Isn't this the problem here? Look at this picture. Why is this a picture? Like, shouldn't this be the other way around?
You should be hitting him in the back with a steel chair. How dare you? How dare you raise up your opponent's hand and defeat?
Or turn heel. Y'all gonna yeet regardless. So y'all gonna boo and yeet.
Honestly, if anybody was gonna turn heel, I would have thought it'd be Cody. I'm just saying, I can't see. I don't see Jay working as a heel right now.
I'm not even the biggest Jey Uso fan, but like, brother, like, this is bad. Like, to me, this is really bad. Question: what's bigger, the yeet chant or the yes chant?
I gotta say the yes chant. Me personally, somebody that was around. I'm saying like I'm old. I remember with the peak yes moment, like he was like that stuff was hijacking stuff he wasn't even involved in. Like, nobody's, how can I say it? You don't have like John Cena, CM Punk in the ring, and people are going yeet yeet. No offense, that was happening when Daniel Bryan wasn't even in the ring. Like, you had a whole lot of people in that ring that got names to them, and they was like, "Man, we want Daniel Bryan." Like, that yes movement got him into a WrestleMania main event and to win it. Unfortunately, it got all halted by his neck injury, but still, it took him from them calling him, they turned it into an entire story, and a story that they could use again for Kofi Kingston. So I gotta say the yes movement. I'm sorry, the yeet moment is cool, or chant, but no, the yes one. I used to have a hat with the doggone Daniel Bryan beard saying yes. Like, that's how serious it was. Anytime somebody asked you something, you just had to fight the urge to go. I don't do this. In public, I do that sometimes, yes. Does that work anywhere? But that's just me. I say yes.
Honestly, I think I'm in agreement. I do think it's the yes chance, because the yeet movement is pretty much okay. We see Jey Uso is split, from his twin. We see that this man is gaining some personality by himself. We are going to stand behind him. He got the Roman Reigns package. A lot of people call it the Drake package. He got the Roman Reigns package. So it's like he glowed up after that Roman Reigns feud. And then after being solo, he started saying yeet. He started gaining a personality. The fans said, let's get behind him. Let's buy his merch. Let's root for this man and see how far he goes.
Really a yeet. That's like I was bowed down to somebody.
Well, it was like, but it's like, but then comparing that to the Yes Chance where we're sick of this shit. It's just like we are sick of this. I actually saw it was like a bunch of 101 facts, backstage facts that you didn't know, and they said like the Yes Chance were so over with Daniel Bryan, and they still didn't want Daniel Bryan to go over. They told the Big Show to start doing the Yes Chance. And I remember that vividly, sitting in the living room, seeing Big Show in the ring doing the Yes Chance as Raw was fading to black. And I was just like, I understand you being behind Daniel Bryan, but you just a crybaby. You just a big old crybaby.
Don't boo me. Don't boo me.
Don't boo me. Don't boo. Triple H is like, punch this goat in the face. I just can't. I got a reality show coming up. He's like, bitch, I just can't. Like, he just was crying. Let me see if I can find a picture of that. Just Big Show.
Dude, that was crazy. Then he had to knock out Dusty. That's when he was really crying. I mean, Grant, I would have cried.
He would be on the ropes. I can't do it. Don't make me do it.
They was putting the Big Show through it, man. They had authority. Man, I'm glad we passed that, dude. That was kind of crazy. Like, you just watching going to a wrestler show to watch these wrestlers get slapped, man. Like, hey, do your job. Like, you see
I can't do it. Don't make me do it. I won't do it, Hunter. Look at that. There it goes. There it goes.
Somebody put a phone in his hand.
Don't make me. He ain't got his phone out. Look at that, man. This man was weeping.
I'm sorry. I ain't trying to laugh at a man crying, but it was just the one with the phone. I remember when he shaved CM Punk's head. Man, Big Show, man, he had a wild career, dude.
This man was crying. Career. Not Mick crying, but he was crying.
This man went from like almost killing a man, like throwing him down like 8 stories.
Look at that on the ropes. Ooh. What are you doing? He started crying. He trying to talk. He's like trying to explain to Daniel Bryan backstage.
Big Show. Man, like, my favorite Big Show moment got to be that tables match with him and Cody when he like he drop kicked the Big Show and he stepped in the table and he just holding on to the ropes like. Oh, Big Show, man. Shout out to Big Show, man.
Of course, I thought I was one of the newbies that thought that was
Paul White.
That was good though. Shout out to Paul White. I forgot how he even got here. When we were talking about Jey Uso, Jey Uso.
And then, how did you get to the Big Show crying?
How did we get to the Big Show going off and crying?
I got it. We were talking about the Yes chant because you were saying the Big Show was trying to do the Yes chant at the end.
He's sitting there crying. What was bigger, the Yeet chant and the Yes? Say Jay Hendry, it's your
still working.
We blaming you.
Hey, I appreciate it. It led us down that Big Show crying meme path. So I appreciate it, Jay Hendry.
I'll tell you, man. Yes. I always remember that man just crying. Punch this man in the face. I know I do this for a living, but I don't want to do it now. Bro, what? Okay, but outside the Big Show crying. Jey Uso, I definitely think it's in a bad spot. The only reason why I brought this up as well is because I actually ran past an article. I'm not gonna read the whole article because it's a thick one. It is a thick boy. So we're just gonna do a little speed run. WWE's growing Jey Uso problem, written by Devin Lee Crimes. Of course, posted in June 25th, 2025. And of course, Uso sells a boat. Now, of course, we're skimming through this. Uso sells a boatload of merchandise with Yeet t-shirts being staples of any WWE crowd, and fans of all ages jump into the opportunity to rock a pair of his trademark shades as well. So as a monthly over as he is, thanks as much to his role in the Bloodline saga, as we mentioned before. And on that front, Uso has been let down significantly, and therein lies the root of the company's evolving issue. Before his win in the Royal Rumble and subsequent championship victory over Gunther, Uso has gained a reputation of a wrestler who routinely lost the biggest matches. He had the unwavering support of all the fans. Still, he could never get over the hump, dropping belts to Gunther, Braun Breaker, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, and others. So, of course, even during his world title reign, WWE executive hesitated to put him over indefinitely. In fact, after capturing the title at WrestleMania, Uso netted only one clean victory during his 51 days with the title, and of course, that is over Logan Paul. So that goes on to say that they need to win matches, and he pretty much goes on to say he needs to win more matches. It does not appear WWE is invested in putting them back in that position, and another run with the IC title on Raw or the US title on SmackDown would feel like a letdown. Bullshit. That I disagree with. Devin, your thoughts on? I think we get in that there. I think we get in that there. Uso started 2025, undeniably. Okay, cool. That is something. Yeah, I do think that's BS though. A run with the IC belt or United States title run is a waste. You know, it's a letdown. I do think that's bull jive.
Why you think that?
Because number one, that was our expectations to begin with. You know, I feel like that was our expectations for Jey Uso to begin with. You know, it's one of those things where Jey Uso won a title. Man, I didn't even expect to get this far. You know, it's like I ain't even supposed to be here. You know, it's like which he is supposed to be there. He deserves it. But for as long as your title reign was, you definitely deserve that. You know, you definitely deserve a 51-day reign, as you should. Now, in saying that, let's see what you can do in the mid card with an IC title run. You know, let's see how you can pull this off and make it establish yourself a little bit more. Because putting yourself up there with the top guys, as it says before, that you couldn't beat, like the Damian Priest, the Drew McIntyres, the Braun Breakers, you know, there's a ceiling towards you. You can't be a world champion with a ceiling. You know, so honestly, I do think with a mid-card title run, let's expound on that. You know, let's burst through those. You know, in the words of Lil Wayne, you know, no ceilings. You know, in the words of Lil Wayne, you know, you got to be like Lil Wayne, brother. You know, no ceilings at all. I do want to see a nice mid-card title run with him, and then let's expound upon what he could do in the, you know, holding the big belt, and also two-time Jey Uso. You know, two-time champ Jey Uso. I think that has a real nice ring to it if he ever comes back and wins the world championship again. So that's my thought process.
In the words of Lil Wayne, real G's moving silence like lasagna.
Like lasagna.
You know, look, the only thing I feel like really the solution to the Jey Uso problem is let the man win before you do something with him. You know, don't just have him be in a stink and then have him, you know, overnight he, you know, won the Royal Rumble. I mean, I know anything can happen on any night. I get it. You know, anybody can sneeze and, you know, injuries happen. I get that probability. But at the same time, if you want people to look at him and think, oh yeah, he could be so and so. Oh yeah, he could probably hang with so and so. Well, you need to show people. And I'm saying in terms of like build momentum, at least because I that way, if I even do want to go, like, you know, remember when he beat Ilya in the tournament going to the IC belt, people were like, what? I beat Ilya. It happened. I mean, it happened. So, you know, and I look at him like going against like Drew McIntyre. I can see Jey Uso beating Drew McIntyre. Come on, now if Damian Priest can just
whoa, here we go.
I'm sorry, it's just that was the funniest finish I ever seen. If Damian Priest could sit up here and walk away from this man in a cage, come on, man. They walk out the door, like, come on, what kind of loser is that? I mean, come on. But what I'm trying to make, the Jey Uso problem to me is not necessarily like, can he, like, he's over, obviously. People are gonna buy his merch. That's why I don't see him turning heel anytime soon. Cause what he gonna do? It's not gonna be the same. He can't do like John Cena and just come out, you know, with just a black shirt like he did that one night. So I would, like I said, I would have took him off TV for a bit. If I don't know what I'm gonna do with him right now, I don't want to risk like watering him down, taking off some steam on him by having people pinning him. I just take you off TV. You know, that's why you should have it set up where, you know, all right, if I'm gonna take Jey Uso off for a bit, I'm gonna cycle in. You know, maybe I'll start pushing Braun Breaker a little bit. Then that way, when Jey Uso come back, he can go ahead and go tangle with him. That's how it should go. Where you don't have to have people just linger. Like when Cody lost, did you see him coming back the next week, going into a tournament to go right back to Roman? Not Roman. John Cena. No, he was gone for a minute, so he couldn't be somewhere losing in front of you. He already did that. No offense. It's just
But can you make that argument that he's already proved himself? Because Jey Uso won that fatal 4-way. And he got a huge pop for it. Cody Rhodes, does he necessarily need that?
My thing is, he's still not going. He still didn't win the tournament. Like that's cool. You won one match. Like, I'm not trying to to you saying that's cool. To him,
No,
you won a 4-way. You advanced. Like that's cool. But did you win the whole thing? Look at Logan Paul and Rumble. Like you was the last 3, but did you win? No.
Did you win? Santino Marella.
Yeah, did you win? Look at Liv Morgan. They always go, she always the last woman or last 2 women, that's in there. But did she win? That's the only thing people gonna care.
I don't think people gonna care about exactly. Shout out to Get Yo. What's good, homies? What's good, brother? How is you living? How is you living?
I'm sorry. Every time he gonna remind me now, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's catchy.
Oh, I think they like me.
I think they like me. Bro, I'm telling you. Every time I hear it, that snap in the background, I think Get Yo.
Oh, I was gonna do D4L. I was gonna go doom.
Yeah. I'm like, man, this is kind of nice. Like I was like, this ain't bad.
I'm telling you, he was on to something there. And that Nikki Bella comparison is pretty heat. There's that one person out there that's gonna hit them franchise boys, and they're gonna tear up.
Exactly. Them franchise boys. I'm telling you, it's something crazy. It is something crazy, and that's one thing I do like. And also, we also gotta put this out here. Since we're talking about injuries, we're gonna get to the last 2 injuries that actually, we're gonna hold on Kevin Owens. We're gonna talk about Kevin Owens' comments another day. But Chad Gable is reportedly set to undergo surgery, unfortunately. And this is for an undisclosed injury. And surprisingly, for some weird reason, El Grande del Americano is also injured. He's also going to be undergoing surgery. Just a huge coincidence. I don't think, has anything to do with anything.
I think not.
It's too, I think it's a huge coincidence.
From the Incredibles, when he was trying to
talk about you gotta put your face on the screen. Honestly, man, but a huge gut punch, or is it? Because I do think that Chad Gable could come back and be absolutely stellar and get the push he rightfully deserves. Your thoughts?
Yes, definitely. This is, I feel like this. I'm one of those people, like how we were just saying, say if you're gonna move one guy out of the picture, now you want to start moving another guy up the card. Chad Gable's right there. If you want to, why Chad Gable can't have a good little long run with the IC belt. But this is all stuff, after, once he's recovered and he's coming back. These are the plans we should be talking about. The Grand Americano thing, I get it, but at the same time I don't, because I don't think he needs it. That could be, that could be carrying across. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that to him. I wouldn't do that to him. But
he's scared. He's just like you.
Okay. I lost the AirPod. Look at that. Wink link. Am I still coming through?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We don't need him. But yeah. I just, like I said, I ever since Russell made that build to WrestleMania 40, where he was looking to be projected to beat Gunther at WrestleMania for the IC belt, I don't know why we never went back to that. He only got better. It ain't like he got worse. I can see I see why they, probably slowed down. He getting a little slower. No, I don't get it. You give him anything and he's been making it work.
Yep.
The whole Otis thing, when he was trying to break up with Otis, when that first sparked his heel turn, he took that and made it work. It made it work. This El Grande Americano thing, as ridiculous as it is for him, he's making it work. That's why I'm you might as well let him do what he want. Not what he want to do, but just let him be Chad Gable.
I mean, they pushed Alpha Academy. They pushed Alpha Academy really, really hard. I mean, because of the work that they were putting, because they're solid wrestlers.
But I need to see championships. I sound like I'm a manager. I need to see championships. I need to see medals. I need to see hardware.
Like they need Stokely. They need Stokely in there. I was like, well, I mean, when you think about it, Alpha Academy is just kind of like Travis Porter. It's just like, I tried. It's just like, but
I can't even think of something they even made, man. They was dang.
Travis Porter. Oh dang, what was Travis Porter? Okay, now ladies.
Oh yeah, this
you know you man. Bro, they had maybe 2 songs and dipped.
2 songs and make it rain. Yeah, make it rain. Make it
rain. That was dope, honestly.
That's wild. Dang, what these crazy comparisons when you think about wrestling? Because they do be on one little one wrestler, you be like, you know what, he was never really that cold, but he was my dude. Or if it was a lady, like she never was that cold, but she was funny. I don't know.
You know what was crazy? Okay, time out for 2 seconds, and then we'll move. But like, I work at a new job. I work at a new radio station, and I work at nights. Sometimes it goes past midnight, and I hate it. Oh, I love it. But outside of that, it was one of those things where it's like, man, these 2 guys walked in and was just like, oh, isn't it the Drake fan? And he's like, oh, hey, Pusha T ain't no better. And he was like, bro, Pusha T got hits. People scared of Pusha T. He was like, Pusha T be making music for other people. And he was like, they dropping all this knowledge. And then they go, you know who Pusha T? They said Pusha T is like Cassidy. And I was like, what? I was like, I haven't heard the name Cassidy in years. I was like, I had maybe 3 Cassidy songs in middle school.
I was gonna say, the only time I hear Cassidy is like when his song like randomly pop up in my playlist, and I'm like, yo, I remember you.
Yeah,
take me back to 2K11, man.
You took 2K11. I'm telling you. Yeah, I can't change my frame of mind. It's game time.
That's why I got game time. I'm sorry.
That's why I ball and go hard at the same time. I was like, bro, come on, that's hard. That's hard.
Didn't he do I got the Drink in my 2-step?
I got that Drake in my 2-step. My Drake in my 2-step. Oh no, that's hard. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Couldn't lay the hustler down.
Oh, then yeah, definitely. I remember the car crash. Yeah.
Y'all take me, man.
Well,
Cassidy, man, it's just like open up a like lockbox in your head. Like, I remember Cassidy. All right.
Cassidy had me. Look, Cassidy Hotel featuring R. Kelly. See, get your just got seasoned into. Oh, forgot to also throw this here. Travis Porter had A Ladies featuring Tiger. I'm telling you, I forgot what the other one was. It's another one that I remember. I forgot how it went, but it was Bring It Back.
Oh yeah, bring it back.
Yeah, bring it back. Okay, I remember it. I do remember.
They definitely had like a certain type of songs.
Yeah,
a certain place for them.
Oh yeah, Shawty Go Hard, Concrete. It was a time. It was definitely a time. Shout out! I just had to throw that Travis Porter reference in before I lost it. But look, and then they brought up Cassidy. I'm like, yeah. And then they brought up Prince. Prince was crazy. Prince tried to run over Michael Jackson and his mom. I'm like, what? I was like, this. What? I was like, that's my first time even hearing it. I knew Prince was crazy.
Oh, I told you. Dang, I was like, I meant to tell you that story because I had read. It was somewhere I looked, and I was like going trying to do research. Yeah, because it was at an award show, and it was like Michael Jackson, and his sister, and his mom, and Prince was trying to run him over in the parking lot. And
that's crazy.
Obviously, I wasn't there. Yeah, I can't say.
Oh my God, no!
You say that. You say he could have been like.
Oh my God!
See, he say that Michael Jackson was gangster, man. What are you doing? You know what you doing?
Michael spin moved up out of the. He grabbed his mama, just spin moved up out of the Tasmanian devil.
Get up beside me.
Hey, mama, please.
But then again, imagine Prince behind the whip. You think you playing these games with me, huh? Dodge this, Mike.
I heard you see Prince, yeah.
He swerved over. He's
that is crazy.
You and your mama in the parking lot.
See, yeah, because if it was this year, if it was at this age, oh man, nah, he ain't live. We getting a diss track.
Oh, have you ever seen those videos? I gotta send you those. I forgot who did it, but they did like a thing where they took that story when like Michael Jackson and Prince was supposed to do the bad song together, but like Prince was like, "Yeah, you don't need me for that." But like it was like somebody did like a parody of it, and they like going back and forth like, "You ain't bad, your butt is mine," and then you got like Prince, "You ain't saying nothing about your butt, my butt being yours," and it's I don't know. I wish I could have seen that dynamic and actually happen.
Man, that is sick. What? Mike took down Pac?
Mike I've seen something about that too. With
I know Mike took down Eminem. Remember when Eminem made that?
I told you,
Just lose it.
Yeah,
just lose it. Go crazy. Had that girl from Camp Rock in there. Had that girl from Camp Rock. Listen, dude from Indiana, don't play around for real.
No, ain't even that. He from Gary, dude. Like he from Scary Gary.
He from Gary.
Look,
like, and let me tell you
his house.
That's all I'm gonna say. Let me see how dirty Gary is, and by dirty I mean like how bogus they are.
Let me tell you how dirty Gary.
No, honestly.
He said, "Let me tell you about that armpit called Gary. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something about this Gary memorial that they have here for Michael Jackson. Like, look at this. This right here, this picture that I'm about to show you guys here doesn't do Michael Jackson's memorial justice at all. Like, look at this. Look at this. Like, yeah, it looks cool when you see it like this, when you're watching it from afar. But
when you actually see that house back in the Disney,
Gary,
before he, cause I'm a week, cause y'all want a funny story before my family moved where they at. I ain't finna tell you where we at now, but we wasn't Gary at one point. We was right down the street from Michael Jackson and them. Well, not like Michael Jackson and them, but the house. So like we would go see it, and I'm like, dang, this old beat up house Michael Jackson was in. That's insane. And then we passed, and you see how they brought it back to life in a sense. I just when I saw it back then, I'm like, Mike, it kind of like it was like the image of seeing like, dang, he came from that. I'm like, man, don't be messing with Michael Jackson. Mike, I ain't gonna call him Michael Jackson. I'll call him Mike. I know we got Iron Mike, but that ain't Michael Jackson. He's just, everybody want to be like Mike.
We got Iron Mike.
You got Mike Tyson. You got Michael Jackson. You got Mike Lowry. Like, I mean, it's a whole bunch. I'm throwing in fictional mics.
But he said, man, any dude from Indiana, honestly, I don't know, man. I'm seeing Freddie Gibbs go down like this, man. Freddie Gibbs will get exposed very easily, man.
Hey, look, it's always that one.
Freddie Gibbs got jumped, and a man, while he was getting jumped, threw a plate. So I thought it was Randy Johnson. I thought it was CC Sabathia that threw this plate, man. This dude just walked up to Freddie Gibbs, whoo, like a plate. You got to be another type of demon to be mad at another man to just chuck a plate close range at a brother while getting jumped by 7 other men. Sick.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, just imagine you get jumping like somebody back there with that Krillin back, with a plate in their hand, hit you with that destructo disc, man. Like, stop.
Just imagine getting jumped. Just getting jumped, absolutely brutalized, man. This can't get any worse. Somebody walking up with a chair. I got him. You got him. Y'all all got me. Yeah, I'm done.
I'm sure the numbers game already got me. Like, chill out.
Yeah.
What more do you want from me?
What more do you want from me? Like Mike beat up Bubbles for not acting right. See, that I believe. Bubbles.
You need to stop it right now. Your butt is mine. Gonna teach you right. Go straight.
The brothers were heavy hitters.
Hey, I'm telling you, man. Jackie, rest in peace, Tito, man. Like Chris Tucker said, I'm Michael Jackson, you Tito. Like, it was a reason why Michael Jackson was, they was that's how the chain of command was. You had to answer the mic. You seen what Michael Jackson beat up Martin in that one episode? Like, stop playing, man.
He said, "Stop playing."
Dude was from Gary, man. I'm scared. I'm we not that. Me personally ain't that far from Gary, but I definitely try not to go there.
Oh yeah, we about 5 minutes away, pretty much. 5 minutes distance.
This man grew up though, like he had to live, perform, and all that. So
Look, I'm from Hammond, Indiana. I got 2 sisters from Gary, Indiana, and I always tell them, hey, if I ever got a problem, because I respect women. I don't disrespect women in any way, shape, or form.
Not when they
but
wrestling.
but if there is a woman that gets mad at me, I have 3 sisters, and 2 of them are crazy. The third one will yell at you viciously. The third one, she got some vocals, she got some words for you. But the 2 of them, they throw hands first. So it's like that's the Gary, Indiana in them. So I'm like, look. Granted, successful, but you're heathens. It's like you're a menace to society. And Devin is too. Devin from East Chicago. East Chicago got some heat. Think of Young Nudie. For those that listen to rap music, think of Young Nudie. Young Nudie is the spitting image of East Chicago, Indiana.
You're funny. You make me want to go play some. You make me want to go play some right now.
From Young Nudie, I'm telling you.
I always go to that one song that.
When I saw friend of the program Cam Cousins pull up listening to Cam Nudie in Indianapolis, I was like, oh man, this is an East Chicagoan. I was like, you are not from here, brother. Like, no way.
Man, that man, that you can smell East Chicago, see East Chicago. You
can smell East Chicago. Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm East Chicago. I'm from East Chicago, but I just it don't resonate. I'd be like it do him. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Ain't nothing bad.
And honestly, look, before we also close out here, John Cena's promo, his pipe bomb promo, were you a fan of it?
Not really, because I mean, it's just I wasn't. I went back and listened to it, like as a visual, it was pretty cool. He could throw all these things he wanted at me. I'm still going. We I ain't even camera on. Okay, that's kind of. See, look at that. That's probably the John Cena collectible, man. Worth millions and millions and billions of dollars.
My popcorn.
Me personally, it just didn't do much for me, man. Like, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just heel John Cena. I was expecting him to be like putting the hurt on people, man. I thought he was gonna be, how people was doing him for years. Like John. We had to see this man, Daddy, get kicked in the head. Edge stood in this man's bed with his shoes on. I mean, like this. To this day, that irritates me, man. Like, how you gonna put your shoes in another man's bed? All the boo boo and stuff you done stepped on in the world, and you gonna put that in my bed? You dirty son of, like I see why he throwing through them tables. But the point I'm trying to make, I don't know. I'm not trying to like necessarily crap on John Cena as a heel. It ain't. I'm gonna be honest, it's not what I expected. I thought this man was gonna do away with the shirts, like forget the whole t-shirts and all that. I thought he'd come out with a suit on. Every time else he do interview with Stephanie or somebody, he got a suit on. Why don't you bring that persona? I feel like I beat this horse already, but I'm still gonna do it because that's all. Then the pipe bomb thing, I get it. He could at least stood at the stage. Come on, he gonna sit on top of the turnbuckle. If you gonna copy something, at least copy it right. That's just me.
You sound like a hater.
I was not. How am I hating? He sounded like a hater. He don't want. I do my pipe bomb. Hello, Claudio Castagnoli. Hello, Doug Diggler. I mean, I don't know. To me, when I watched the actual pipe bomb in real time back in 2011, when John Cena lost to R-Truth in a tables match, at that moment it felt. How can I put it? I don't know. I can't help but compare because that's what he was trying to do, and that pipe bomb was just way different. CM Punk was already saying his contract was up. We, at that time didn't know if he was being for real or whatever. So him saying that stuff like this, Vince McMahon this company be better when he dead. Like that type of stuff had people like, yeah, you saying this stuff on TV right now? The stuff John Cena said on TV, like who gonna do something about it? Like he said somebody's name. Ooh, he said Claudio Castagnoli. Ooh, Nick Nemeth. He literally working freaking in TNA. Ooh.
See, and that's why I disagree with you.
He would have did better. He would have did better off taking Larry and kicking him or something. Come on, not really, but do something different. Be a heel, man. He been such a face for so long. He don't know how to be a bad guy. He suck at it.
See, I disagree. I just disagree so much because
an actor and he can't even be a bad guy. I asked for a bad guy and he gives me John Cena.
See, but that's the thing, because I think John Cena is doing a solid job. I ain't saying he's killing it, but he's doing a solid job. But I honestly feel as though the pipe bomb was cold because CM Punk literally just told this man to his face, "You're literally sounding like CM Punk right now." You know, it's like you doing all this stuff that I was doing back in the day. You know, and now I'm over here speaking to the fans doing it. I'm sounding like you. You know, it's just like, so now CM Punk gets thrown to a table. John Cena does the pipe bomb, literally iterates, but remixes everything CM Punk pretty much says, pretty much going on from it, breaking the fourth wall, as we like to call it. And then on top of that, I feel like the kicker in this whole thing was, even though CM Punk is saying that John Cena's kissing ass, he's an ass kisser, this, that, and the other, John Cena flips it around like, hey, bro, like, you saying that you're against TKO, like, brother, you missed the TKO, like, pretty much. And I feel like that's also insinuating, like, brother, you going to Saudi Arabia, you know, it's like you is a hypocrite, you know, you are all hypocrite, you know. I feel like he also exposes that to CM Punk as well, exposes, you know, CM Punk's hypocrisy. Man, although sometimes it can come off a little corny, you know, John Cena a little bit, I still was a fan of it. He talked about guys that were buried. You know, it brings up Claudio Castagnoli, Nick Nemeth, Matt Cardona. You know,
why he didn't bring up Alex Riley? Say it to my guy.
That's a good point. Why did you bring up Alex Riley?
Now that you probably would have had me, you know, but he didn't dig deep enough. That's just me. I ain't mean to cut you off. I do agree with most of what you say. I mean, if you're gonna do it, it's just like I said, I can't help but compare it. So I'm like, when I seen it, I'm like, look, you know me, I'm a person like, you could at least say it on the stage. You could at least did that, John Cena. You could at least kept some continuity. That's just me. But I don't know. It's just but the way you break it down, I do like that dynamic of it. That dynamic made me excited for this feud, no matter how short it may be. Of like, you know, CM Punk could be in his face like, how dare you do this and do that? Like, man, how dare you come in my face talking about anything? You do everything you say you was gonna do, you know? I'm a hypocrite. You could be one too. So I do like that dynamic too. I wish it was, I don't know. I didn't need a John Cena pipe bomb. I just never woke up a morning and said I need this.
Man, you have been such a hater.
I'm being honest with the man. I'm expecting. I know. No, this is how much I like John Cena. I see him and I see what he's trying to do, and I'm just like, you know what, man, you can just push it just a tad bit more. You know, get rid of the merchandise. I know you ain't hurting for no t-shirt money, John Cena. You've been selling t-shirts all my life. You'll be fine. You know,
he's doing good on t-shirt sales, I think. Last time is now. People dressing up just like him as soon as he walk in.
But my thing is, we've seen this already. I'm just saying, like, I mean, I get it. Maybe he didn't want to go to template of a regular heel that comes out wearing darker clothes. You know, they got to change their music. I don't know. It's just the image of him coming out, and it's just John Cena, and he's still coming out with the regular, you know, doodle rag. He pull out his butt and all that stuff. Cool. But come on, like, if you're gonna be this last time, I mean, just do. How can I put it? If this is the last time, when you gonna get a chance to do something different? If this is the last time, and you doing the same thing, it's the same thing over and over. It's like missionary position. Every countdown, I can't bring their 2021 Roman back. That was a different.
No, it definitely can't. We need to make a video on it. We need a video on it.
But no, I mean, that's just, I don't know. Look at that.
Devin the Tribal Chief Jr., you feeling that name?
I mean, granted, I want to be my own man, but I did want to be a tribal chief, but we're gonna work on these names though. Like, you know, obviously Devin the Destroyer is just, you know, this ain't the avenue for that, you know. But you know, so I ain't gonna dig a deeper hole with that.
The promo was decent, but in comparison to CM Punk promo is nor nothing. John Cena promo, Billie Eilish, Armani White. He said same beats, just hit different. I can see that. I can see that. And more so the Armani White one, because I definitely. No, I'm a fan of the video. I'm a fan of Billie Eilish, the song, and I'm a fan of Billie Eilish personally, respectfully.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, I can't help but, if he gonna do a pipe bomb, I'm gonna be like, well, I'm gonna compare it to the one. You know, like John Cena, you know, the dude, you could have rapped, you could have did anything else. He could have came out with a peacemaker suit on or something, and just start doing a dance while he was down to, you know, anything. You know, Johnson, you ain't gotta be CM Punk, just be you, man. You know, I know I sound like a real corny dude, but you know, sometimes I feel like this, you know, this program kind of is talking about him, not this. Talking about John Cena as a heel. I just think it's a little too far. Like, I don't know. It's just like he's been a face for so long. It's like watching Superman try to be bad and he just can't do it. Like I can't be bad. I've been good all my life. I don't know. I just feel like he's missing something. And like I said, I thought he was gonna come out with, maybe come out with the suits on. I thought he'd be backstage. He has his own VIP lounge. He could be full of himself. Like he kind of laid out right after the Royal Rumble. They're like, how he get in the Elimination Chamber? Because I'm John Cena. He could have went this entire year doing whatever he wanted, just saying he John Cena. And who would have said anything? He could have had him an old stable. It could have been like R-Truth in that thing. He Ron Killen. Maybe Randy Orton turns on Cody or something and joins up with his old OVW buddy John Cena. I'm just spitballing. These people are at the very ends of their stuff. I'm trying to think of stuff that they ain't give us in these past 20 years of Randy Orton going against John Cena 1,000 times on Monday Night Raw. So I mean, that's just me. I want something different. Sometimes I cut my hair, and sometimes I don't.
What?
I think John Cena.
He could have ended it before that haircut.
I could have. I ain't gonna lie, I could have. Then I was like, dang, the crescendo was done. He just had to put another post-credit scene in there that ain't nobody gonna care about.
And that is why gun control is good for the environment. I'll take a shot one day. What? It was like, what? It was like, okay. I hope. Getcho comes in better, but my point. I mean, that's the thing. Getcho even comes in and says, brother, you are dead wrong, which, I mean, I think I agree with for sure. Like, it's just what he says, same, I'm with you, of course. And, yeah, I mean, that's...
what drugs are you doing?
I wish John Cena was doing something different. I definitely wish it was, a whole lot more he could have done. But honestly, I'm still sports entertained. But like you said, John Cena is missing something, just like we are. One thing that we are missing is an outro. Is there anything you want to say before we close this show out?
Anything I want to say before let me set up. I've been kind of slouching the whole time. Let me get this angle right. Let's get symmetric here. Okay, this ain't symmetric at all. Who cares? Ain't nothing even. Besides my hairline. But let's go. It's your boy Devin Lee Crime Jr. Yeah, and I've been being accused of being a hater. I'm not being a hater. I'm being realistic. I see things and I see the potential in it, and I'm like, what? Let's take that potential and let's just increase that thing. Why not? Why not? If you can shoot for the stars, why the heck is you still in your room? I mean, you can be in any room. You can be in a bathroom. You can be in a living room. You can be in a McDonald's bathroom. I mean, you can be anywhere. So I'm gonna just hand it back over before I go anywhere I don't want to go. To the number one hater in the nation, it's Isaiah Jackson. He's playing Resident Evil 2 in the background and just don't want to tell you. Junior.
Why shoot for the stars? Well, no. What'd you say?
Why can't even? I know it was kind of wild. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, I said why shoot? Why if you gonna shoot for the stars? Why you still in your room?
Yeah. Why shoot for the stars? Why you still in your room? I mean, you could be in any room. What? Stop! Just stop right there. You could be in any room. You could be in the bathroom, the storage room. It's like just end it there.
The locker room, the steam room,
I
don't know. See, you right. I need to just end it. I'm a person like I'm terrible. I never would know how to end a movie.
He says, Jay Hendry says, are you both gentlemen JRs?
By God, good God Almighty, I am.
I think I am.
I could have just said, I think I am. I think I am. Be in a second, but I'm just
Beverly Crowns Jr., Isaiah Jackson Jr. Yeah, our fathers couldn't think of anything different, so we had to just here, take my name, sure. You want to know something cool?
I was like, that's fine. I'm gonna take it and make it even better than you left. No,
you guys want to know something pretty solid though? Pretty weird. So like I said, my dad had two kids after me. So when he had me, I'm in the wedding picture. I'm in my mom's stomach, so she was pregnant. Long story short. So when they got married, my dad had to go in and sign the documents. So he was like, all right, my name is spelled Isaiah, Isaiah. And they was like, no, it's not. He was like, what? How y'all gonna tell me what my name is? They was like, because we got your birth certificate. They was like, your name is spelled Isaias. My dad was like 30-something years old. He found out his name was spelled Isaias. I was like, bruh, like before I was born, they probably thought my name was gonna be Isaiah until until they got married. So I was like, that's so crazy. Like it's weird.
That's crazy. I can't even see like I'm about to get married. They're like, yeah, your name spelled with an O. What you mean? I'm like, damn.
What you mean? I've been spelling it wrong my whole. Just imagine all the high school exams you took, like all the tests you took.
Man, I sit in the corner. I ain't going. I'm like, who? I'm trying to keep
fake dude is. Who am I? Because you know how serious that is. Like it's like this fake dude who just took his iced up some random fifth grader.
Yeah, I think my whole life was a lie. I'd be like, well, who was I? If you telling me this is who I am.
Should rename this the Junior Heel Podcast.
Junior Heel.
Well, think about it. Jay Hendry, I am a junior as well. Ooh, look. Yeah. We all juniors. We all getting love.
We all out here paving. We all out here taking the name and carrying it along, man. That make us strong.
I was like, the bigger question is, are we all gonna carry on? Are we getting trays? Are we all gonna have some trays in the world? I am. I'm definitely gonna have a tray. And Isaiah Jackson III.
Oh yeah, me definitely. Because I can't wait to just talk to myself. I'm like, Devin, didn't I tell you to clean up your room, man? Devin, dog. How many times I gotta tell you this? I'm gonna talk to my son just like that. I'm like, look at dog. Come on, bro. Chill out.
Yeah. That'd be my dad and my little brother. Because they be going back and forth. Where do you get this from? It's like, well.
That's some comedy. If anybody knows, you don't know. You need a good laugh.
It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous, but it gets fun. Real fun. Look, thank you guys so much.
We got the Junior Society coming in, man.
The Junior Society, I didn't mean to start chewing, but I was hungry. I'm starving. Because I've been working doubles now, so I gotta eat.
Look at I've been working so hard. I didn't have time to eat, brother. I had to eat to feed my muscles, brother.
To feed my muscles. The way these crazy ass women that I'm meeting, it's not looking good for me. Hey, look, crazy women are the best women. Let me tell you something, Jay Hendry. Crazy women are the best women because they care so much. They want to do anything and everything for you. It's just a matter of getting past, the stalking, the 100+ missed calls, and the where are you at? I haven't seen you in this amount. You gotta get through all that. But outside of the crazy, it's fun. It's fun, Jay Hendry. Keep trying for the crazy woman.
I believe in Jay Hendry. I was trying to do the second one. My hands wouldn't come on.
The hard clap.
I only got one clap. I'm like, my bad. The second clap was kind of asking too much.
It was asking too much. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Jay Hendry, Gitcho, Justin, of course, sliding in as well. Circle of Debate, of course, got to give them the plug because we love them. Dubious. There it goes. It's over here, and it's just a picture of Jamie Hayter, just like he just is zooming in, just zooming up on the screen. Preparing the haterade, just like going on, just going on. But a huge shout out to the boys for tuning in. Circle of Debate, of course, going live every day. Tune in to them; they are absolutely amazing. Devil the Tribal Chief also slid in as well. He has so much energy, love popping in on a live stream with Devin the Tribal Chief. He has so much fun, and the energy is just absolutely through the roof. Got to give him a whole lot of love and credit while credit is due. Huge shout out to Gitcho. Man, they just had their ethnic draft. I got to go back and watch that. I was working when you guys were live. I'm going to go back and tune in and watch that as well. So to end it all, wrap it all in the bow, thank you guys so much for tuning in.